Located in the majestic Appalachian Mountains near Virginia's border with West Virginia, Norris Screen and Manufacturing has served for over 30 years as a beacon of innovation in American manufacturing. As part of the Elgin Equipment group of companies, Norris Screen manufactures high-quality industrial screens used in the mining, power, and oil and gas industries. In recent years, Norris Screen has dramatically transformed their business to thrive in the new global economy. Guided by the fearless leadership of Plant Superintendent Mike Stilwell, they have achieved never-before-seen levels of responsiveness, productivity, and quality. This has put Norris Screen on a new trajectory that is creating opportunities for the business to grow into new markets and geographies.
In 6 weeks, they accomplished more than any of our other companies, even the ones that had a lot of success, both from a financial standpoint and also an employee development and a culture change for the positive and the betterment. It improved our capacity, which allowed us to grow then, and even today we're still continuing to have those benefits from the increased capacity that was generated through Mike's fearless leadership. And I just remember being floored. Wow, we have found our shining star. And Mike was that.
Mike truly was fearless. He not only was a fearless leader at work, but also a fearless leader in our home.
He was just awesome and so full of life and just touched others just by being around him. He didn't have to say anything. He was just so full of life. You didn't have to worry about anything because he was always there, and he just always had the right things to say and just was fearless.
My daddy was a hard worker at work and at home. He used to take me when he got home from work, and he'd let me ride my four-wheeler through the mud, and he was a great father.
The day I was at a ball game and Ernie called and told me what had happened, I wasn't sure. I couldn't believe it. That was just a devastating blow to the business. But because he was a friend.
I found it awesome that the name of this award is Fearless, because that's what I always called Mike when he was little. He was fearless. Put a few gray hairs in my head. He was a boy that was up at the crack of dawn and loved life and lived it to the fullest. I appreciate this award. I mean, I think it really tells everyone who he really was.
You know, he would do whatever it took, you know, to get the job done. He would do whatever it took to make it better. He cared about the quality, about the operation, and about the business. And Mikey always cared and was always cared about other people. And he was always trying to give you something.
Mikey had on a shirt that had something to do with motorcycles, and I just made mention. I said, "Oh man, I like that shirt." Well, next thing I know, he goes to be excused and comes back with a long sleeve shirt on and gives me that sleeveless shirt. When they say he gives you the shirt off his back, I can honestly vouch for that.
I think that he had a real ability to connect with people on a personal level, and I think that his connection with people, as well as some of those just attributes of people wanting to get behind him and be a learner himself, is what allowed him to really excel at being that fearless frontline leader.
He really motivated the guys in the shop. He would get on the floor and work with them. I mean, superintendent, he was in there, he would get dirty right with them.
I knew Mikey for about a little over a year. I knew him as Pawpaw. I wished I would have known him longer. He was a really great man.
If I do a job, I try to do it right. I want to do it not so much for myself, but for the customer, and because of, that's what Mikey told me. He said, if you're going to do it right. There is one little place that I hope they never cover it over or tear it out. Back in the hallway between the main shop and my part of the shop, Mike and Ernie got in there one day, there was a ditch line in there. They filled it in with Quickcrete, and probably unbeknownst to Ernie, after they smoothed it all over, Mikey went back and made a little heart and put his initials and Ernie's initials in there. But that was the way he felt about everybody. He loved everybody. And I think everybody loved him.
I know Mikey for 23 years, and he wasn't my friend or my boss, he was my brother.
Oh, he was wonderful. He'd work you to death, try to help you. It was like working against 3 people, and you know, he was one person. You'd argue and you'd fuss and carry on, and then he'd come over and tell you, I love you.
There's just times that I can feel him around me, different times that I'm scared or I do have fear, and there's times that I think of him and I think of how fearless he was, and that gives me the confidence to go on.
I just called to say I love you. You're not answering your phone. I'll call you after a while.
It was the last voicemail he sent me, and he would always call me from work when he could, or we would shoot each other a text just to let each other know we loved each other. And
Mike was very loyal to his wife Sherry and his 2 daughters. He would do anything for anyone, whether it was work-related or at home. He was the kind of individual that wanted to make other people's life better. I was very proud to witness Mike when he did get his green belt in Cincinnati, I believe in November of 2010. And you would have never known it was an individual that had trouble in his first huddle meeting.
He was supposed to come to Cincinnati for a week, go back to Norris, do a project, and then come back to Cincinnati for another week, do a big report out on this project, stand up in front of his peers, stand up in front of his bosses, and talk about the success of his project. So I started to get these phone calls, and I would pick up, and Mike would always say something jovial and ask how I was, and then he would say in a real hushed voice, "Now Tara, you know I'll pay you if I don't have to deliver this presentation."
And Mike came across as if he was a born leader and been doing that all his life. As a matter of fact, he probably could have ran for a political career. If he wasn't so honest, I'm sure he would have probably done that.
I think one of the things Mike really taught me was that being a fearless leader doesn't mean that you don't have fear. It means that when you face fear, you run to it and you seek to conquer it.
you know, I guess if Mike was here, he would probably just encourage whomever the award goes to just to continue to be, to strive to be hardworking and to be a leader, you know, because in the end it really does pay off, whether it be with your company or, you know, just some self-gratification just to know that, you know, that you've made a difference.